Welcome to For the Record. My name is Kapoo Stacking McLean. I'm here with Lex Lion on the scene, straight from the UK. Good to see you again, my brother.
Yes, sir. Man. It's a blessing.
Blessing to see you, King. So we're going to get into your story, man, how you started DJing and whatnot. Yeah, man, just let's break it down. Let's start from day one. How did you get into DJing? How did you get into DJing?
I wouldn't say I got into DJing. The reason I don't really say that is because my family genuinely is a musical family.
Okay.
And I had an uncle I was really close to who was the family's DJ, so to speak.
Right.
It's always the person at all the family parties playing all the music, that kind of thing.
Indeed.
He taught me to collect music and how to collect music. Feel me? Okay. So then it got to a point where I had all this music sitting on a hard drive, sitting on my laptop, I got nothing to do.
Right.
So what do? Somebody gave me an option. It's like, oh yeah, I'm having a house party. Do you want to play? Cool. This was long before I learned how to mix, bro. I'm playing on. I bought my CD player from my house, and I borrowed my mum, so I had two. Right? Real talk. And one speaker's on one side, one speaker's on the other side.
Right.
And I'm literally putting a CD in one, a CD in the other, bro, and I'm playing.
Right.
That was probably the birth of my DJ life. You feel me? But naturally, as it went on, I learned to mix in the youth club and stuff like that.
Right.
And then I started to progress my career, etc., etc. But that's where it really started.
Okay, cool. And do you think, obviously now we changed into more of a digital world like we was talking about earlier. What do you think is the biggest transition for you? I know you started as a CD DJ. Probably moved on.
I think the biggest transition is becoming so digital. Right. Like now, as a DJ, I can't walk into a club and find turntables, for example. Right. You feel me? Like a lot of clubs now, you walk in there, you find a controller with all these flashing lights and buttons. And I'm not used to that. Right. I had to get used to it, but it's not something that I'm accustomed to. Do you get what I mean?
Gotcha.
I think that's probably, I would say that was the toughest part for me. Right. It was just kind of getting my head around. Because it wasn't a slow transition like a lot of things. Right. 1 minute everyone's playing on CDs, then boom, now you're playing on a laptop. From laptops and turntables, boom, now everything's a controller. There was no middle ground, do you know what I mean? Right. In the progression, and I think that's what made it difficult for me personally.
Okay. And who are your top 5 influences as far as DJing?
Top 5 influences as far as DJs?
It's broad.
Number 1 has to be Jazzy Jeff. Number 1 has to be Jazzy Jeff. Right. I've watched Jazzy Jeff since I was a kid. I learned about him watching Fresh Prince as a kid. Right. You feel me? And I looked him up and I've been following him ever since I started to progress my career. Definitely Jeff. But that's very
nice. That's a good
Grandmaster Flash as well.
Grand Flash. Okay.
God be like your beer, Jen. Definitely. I would say Puffy.
Okay.
DJ Puffy. He's another Belgian DJ, but he won I think it was 2016 or 2017. He won Red Bull Freestyle Championship.
Okay.
Although he's in close circles for me, I definitely would say him because of how much he's done in a short space of time. Okay. Like, to a lot of people, obviously I know his story, but to a lot of people, it literally looked like he went from this radio DJ to a superstar overnight. Right. You feel what I'm saying? And the fact that he could blow people's minds in that way, despite the struggles he went through, is what made me kind of look up to him. So definitely him. My uncle, I would definitely say my uncle. Nice. I would know nothing about music if it weren't for him. Most of my music collection came from him. Right. Okay. Up until, I'll say the music from like 2005 onwards is stuff I collected. Anything before that, I got from him. Okay. So definitely him. I don't know if I've got a 5th.
We'll have to come back to you on that.
Yeah, come back to me on that one. I got to think about that. Yeah.
I know we did talk about it off camera, but do you have a favorite place that you DJ'd and you was like, I really like to probably come back here again one day and set my sights on rocking another party out here somewhere. Could be in the UK, could be anywhere.
You know what? I don't know, you know. It's hard. The reason I say that is because every place I play is iconic for me, innit?
Okay.
You get what I mean? In the sense of, I get an iconic feeling when I look up and I see the crowd, I see everyone partying. I don't really pay too much mind to where I am in my setting.
Right.
Probably, if I was to say in the UK, would be Dreamland Juve again. Because the first time I got on that stage, my mind was blown.
Right.
I definitely want to get back on that stage.
Right.
If I say outside of the UK, it would have to be back home. I gotta get back to Barbados and just. I gotta get back home and plug in, man. I ain't plugged in Barbados in what? 6 years.
Right.
So that's one place out.
Yeah, you would like to get back to.
But for the most part, it's kind of hard to. Those are two that I could resonate with now. But
right.
If you ask me that question next week, it might be two different ones. You get what I mean?
Right.
Like, there's so many different situations and experiences I go through that are memorable to me. I can't pinpoint the best ones or.
Right.
Like every venue I've ever played in, I want to play them again.
Right.
Do you get what I mean? Every location I've played in, I would love to go back and do again.
Right.
Like, I went to Montserrat, I never got a chance to play.
Okay.
Like, I hope you're not watching. If ever they call me back, please believe I will drop everything and take off like a bullet to go and play again, just because I never got my chance.
Right. Gotcha.
Feel me? And just from being on the island, the vibes, untouchable.
Nice.
But that's me. Yeah.
Nice. And take us back to like your early days of like buying vinyls and going to the record store. What was that experience like? Up and coming.
You know what? I never really bought vinyls.
Okay.
As per se.
Okay.
Reason being, a lot of people just kind of handed them to me. Like the youth club, when they started to get rid of the turntables and stuff, they started to give me the old vinyls.
Okay.
That's where I learnt to mix, etc.
Okay.
I learnt to mix on turntables. When I was a CD DJ, I learnt to actually mix and transition between songs on turntables.
Okay.
You feel me?
Nice.
So, and that was in the youth club. So when they started to get rid of the vinyls and stuff, they were just like, oh yeah, do you want this, do you want that? I didn't take all, but there was a couple. I was like, yeah, give me that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
even though I didn't have turntables, I had to borrow my granddad's vinyl, my granddad old school turntable vinyl player, and just play the song. There was no mixing, there was no scratching, nothing like that. I just had to play.
You had to play.
Yeah, but that's my first. In terms of CDs, a lot of the people that grew up in the UK will know about this, but I used to be on this thing called LimeWire.
Okay.
And I used to sit down and just study other DJs, study what people are listening to, and I'll jump on LimeWire, download it, and then put together CDs.
Right.
Feel me? And that's how I put together all my CDs, and every CD I burnt two of.
Okay.
Just in case I needed a song that's on that CD next.
Got you.
Feel me? So that when I'm mixing, I could easily get to the song without any issues. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But yeah.
Cool. And what do you feel is like the biggest, turnaround as far as when you DJ and you're in a crowd, you're in a party, and you get that feeling like, yeah, that was a good vibe. What's your biggest takeaway from out DJing and the feeling you get? Because I know a lot of DJs just be like, it's another gig, and this and that. But you said something earlier about being.
For me, it's every booking has its own little essence. Do you know what I mean? Every booking has something that makes me say, yeah. Most times it's the energy.
Right.
Feel me? Like, just from playing. You know when you hear a song, you're like, you're in the middle of the club, like you're at the time when the alcohol's starting to set in, you want to party. You've got your party face on. Yeah. Feel me? Like as a DJ, I can see that from where I am. For me, that's the essence. That's the sweet spot. Do you get what I mean? And that's what always takes me back.
Right.
If somebody phoned me today and said, yeah, I got a booking tomorrow, I need you, calm down. I'm there.
And is there a particular genre, age range of audience that you say, I can cater to that, or is it?
I can cater to all.
Okay.
But a preferred audience would be like my 26 to about, I'll say 26 to 40.
Okay. And
it's a big age range, but around that age range.
Is that in like a particular genre of music? Is that like soca, or is that hip hop?
That's in general.
In general, okay.
The reason I say that in general is because my biggest love of music was in an era where anybody who's under 26 would be too young to remember. That's why I say that.
Right. Yeah.
Because there's tunes like I'm talking back to the Aaliyahs and
yeah.
songs back then. A lot of the people now don't know. I was gonna say kids, but I mean the 26-year-old ain't a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get what I mean? But like, they wouldn't, or if they do know it, they wouldn't resonate to it how we would.
Right.
Do you get what I mean? Like, they don't know about Nickelodeon.
Right.
For example.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them don't remember them things. They're
yeah.
like, and I think that's important. Yeah.
And take us back to one more. Going back to the days of the youth club days.
Digging in my brain.
Yeah, I'm digging, man. The youth club days, like we talked about the ciphers earlier.
Yeah.
And you was, you know, in that beginning stages of mixing the songs that the brothers was coming in to do the cipher. What transitioned you to being like, yo, I really want to do this now? You know, so get joy out of it.
It wasn't even that transitioned me, you know. But being there is a time I will never forget.
Right.
Do you get what I mean? Like, just from, because you got, as I said, at that time, I just like to mix.
Right.
So now I'm given big responsibility because I've got to make sure not only am I mixing on time, but the music don't cut for as long as these men want to continue going.
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying? So I think from that, it was more, I'm not sure. It's a tough one. Okay. I think for me, it was just kind of being there.
Right. Yeah.
Just being there in the moment at the time. And now being able to look back and say, yeah, I was there. Like, I can say I stood face to face with Dizzy Rascal and watched him speak. Do you feel what I'm saying?
I was going to say,
like, I could say,
people that you saw.
Yeah, like, there's a lot of people I could say that I've stood there, and these was before these people blew up. Now they've blown up, it's a different thing.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? But back then, like, I could tell you about the Road Deeps, I could tell you about old school people like Wolfpack. A lot of people don't remember Wolfpack from Bow.
Wow.
But that's old school. Like, if I tell a 25-year-old about Wolfpack, they'll be like, who's that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, things like that. Like, I think that's key.
Cool.
Yeah, keep that.
Nice. And talk about a little bit about the Ethiopian Christmas. I think we elaborated.
Yeah. So my knowledge is not vast on it, but from what I do know, it's the 7th. I think it's the 6th actually. The 6th of January.
6th of January. Okay.
Either the 6th or 7th. I'm sure it's the 6th. It's on that date according to the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, who follow a different calendar.
Right.
I can't remember the name of the calendar for dear life, but they follow a different calendar. From a Rasta standpoint, the reason why we would also celebrate that Christmas is because the Ethiopian Orthodox Church was put together by Haile Selassie.
Indeed. Right.
Do you understand? Which then obviously ties back to us and why we will follow that. That's as far as, I mean, I've dived deeper and I could probably get deeper into it, but that's breaking it down. Yeah, right. That's what I would say.
Okay. All right, well then, listen, man. Great for having you on here. You know what I'm saying? I really
it's always
enjoyed
a pleasure,
your
man.
journey.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You explained to the people a little bit more about how you started. You want to get any last minute shouts out?
Shout out the whole team, man. Shout out everybody involved for the record, strictly for the record.
Right.
As well. But
Peace.
Shout out everyone, come on.
Blessings.
Love always.
Always. For the record.